Hey there, CIS276. This session 6, we are going to cover a a data type that I think, or really it's two data types, but that I think you are really, you know, through your developing experience, you have noticed that something is missing. You have noticed that you need another kind of data type that represents not just one piece of data, but represents a whole bunch of connected data. And those two data types that we're going to see here in Chapter 7 are the vector and the array. We'll start quickly here. There's a ton of material in there for you, but we'll start with the array. An array is a group of homogenized data. So they're all integers, they are all floating point numbers, they are all string values, whatever the case might be. And they all relate to something. So think back to, the food truck challenge, or the vending machine rather challenge, where it would be great, wouldn't it, if we could have the prices for everything instead of having a discrete, Pepsi price, Mountain Dew price, Coke price, Dr. Pepper, they should just give that stuff away for free. Instead of having a price as its own individual variable for all of that, what happens if we could put them all together? And that's what the array allows us to do. It puts all of our prices together. Now, if we have another array that puts all of the names together, so we have the names for everything together, we can start to really do some neat things with looping that we wouldn't have been able to do before. If we loop through an index on an array, so an array and a vector both start at index 0. So this again is part of the support material that is here in the session 6 module. So the 0th position is Dr. Pepper, where it needs to be, where it shouldn't be represented. So 0 in the names array says Dr. Pepper. 0 in the prices array says free. The next element over, so slot number 1 in the names array says Pepsi, and slot number 1 in the prices array says $2. And then you can keep going. And what this does is it enables you to link together pieces of data that are similar, that are related, but don't require or are benefited by not requiring individual variables to be able to do it. So think of a carton of eggs. How many eggs do you buy when you go to a grocery store? You don't buy egg, right? One damn egg, and then you walk out of there and go, this wasn't enough to feed me, and this is a terrible mistake. You buy a carton of eggs that's either 12 or it's 18 or it's 24. That one carton represents 24 eggs, and you can refer to the one carton instead of each of those eggs individually. That's what you're doing here with an array. A vector works very much the same way that an array does. The big difference is an array is, from the moment it is created, it is sized. So the egg example, you have an array of size 12, an array of size 18, an array of size 24, whichever one of those it is. And if you need to add another one to that array, you're out of luck. C++ does not handle that. So what happens if you were to try and add another egg to a dozen egg carton? It just goes whoop, and it's unaccounted for. It hits the floor, it is broken, it is no longer accessible, it is bad data, and it's gross. So that's what happens in an array. In a vector, C++ looks like it does a bunch of magical heavy lifting for you. So if I try to add one more egg to a 12 element carton of eggs, what's going to happen is it'll feel like C++ does this magical thing for you where it goes, okay, and you can put that 13th egg in there. You want to add another one? Okay. You can add a 14th egg in there. But what I'll tell you from a performance standpoint, what I'll tell you from a storage standpoint is nothing happens for free. Use an array where you can because it's faster. use a vector where you have to because things are unknown. And again, all of those come with video and audio and code samples here in the chapter, or the session rather, 6 module. One thing you'll notice just looking forward is this session is over on the 26th of July. The next session is our last one for session 7. There is just the vector list challenge, which is already published, which you can already see there, and which is very big. So get everything right here with the array. Get everything right here with the vector, so that next week when you have the final project, right? It's the capstone project here. It's going to encompass everything that you have done from chapters 2 all the way through chapter 7. So make sure you are asking questions where you need to. Make sure you are keeping up with the material through this week, because next week comes at you pretty quickly. So have at it 276, and as always, message me as you come across any questions.